hurricane on its way.
I am well aware, yes. In fact, I sent Eunice away because of it.
I know. She's the one who told me where I could find you.
I see. I have to confess I don't fully understand why you've come. But as long as you're here, go ahead and have a seat.
I haven't got time to talk. We have to leave.
I insist. Besides, I'm not going anywhere.
George,
Yes?
I know we didn't part on the best of terms the last time we saw each other. I just wanted to say I'm sorry. I was young and stupid. I thought the world owed me.
Apology accepted, Alfie. We've all been there. So, now that we've got that out of the way, what else is on your mind?
So, what have you been doing with yourself the past few years?
Well, I'm sure you heard about the bust. Coral Gables went bankrupt, and I was forced to step down from the commission. I always enjoyed it down here in the Keys, and Eunice's family just happened to own this property, so we came down here and opened up a fishing club. It's been a much quieter life than I'm used to, but I can't complain. I suppose I had my time to shine.
Couldn't the others have done something for you? What about Doc?
I assume you didn't hear that Doc passed away 5 years ago.
No, I didn't. Huh. Did you know this hurricane was coming?
I had heard, yes. The weatherman had been talking about it on the radio the past few days. They seem to take them a bit more seriously down here in the Keys.
Why haven't you evacuated?
Ever heard the old saying, the captain always goes down with his ship? I never abandoned Coral Gables. I see no reason why I should abandon the Caribbean Club.
Coral Gables was lucky. It didn't get the worst of the hurricane in 26. You're right in the path of this one.
That may be, but I think I've taken sufficient precautions.
George, we need to leave. Isn't there any way I can convince you?
You did a pretty good job of convincing plenty of other people in the old days. I'm not opposed to hearing what you have to say. So, Alfie, why is it so important we go back?
Coral Gables needs you back, George. It's just not the same without you.
Oh, I hardly think that's true. Coral Gables has been fine without me the past few years. We had our moment in the sun. It's time for a new generation to take over.
There's still so much left to do in Coral Gables. You can't just give up now.
Oh, really? This is an interesting change of attitude. Didn't you give up on Coral Gables when you decided to work for Tom Walsh?
I saw the way things were headed and decided to go for a more lucrative opportunity.
For which I can hardly blame you, but I just wish you hadn't jumped ship so soon.
What else was I supposed to do? Drown with the rats? I don't share your optimism, George. I still can't understand how you never felt tempted to just give up yourself.
Who says I didn't? Do you think you're the only one who saw what was going on? The Depression came to Coral Gables years before the rest of the country. There were days when I thought about packing it all in. I knew when the bubble had burst, but I worked too hard to just give everything up. I stayed until they threw me out.
I didn't know that. I thought you were just naive.
We all have our bad days, Alfie. Sometimes it's bad weeks or even months. But what's important above all else is sticking to your principles.
I understand what you're saying, George, but times have changed. Principles are important, surely, but the depression and lack of money is all anyone thinks about. You made the city beautiful, sparing no expense, making it all about the aesthetics. But think about the value of that city in the current economic climate. Someone in charge wouldn't think twice about tearing down the Biltmore to sell the land if it meant a profit.
And all the work we did, all the sacrifices people made will have meant nothing. I hadn't even considered that possibility. I can't in good conscience allow something like that to happen. It seems living down here all these years has made me a bit out of touch. All right, Alfie. As soon as this storm passes, we'll take the first train back to Miami so I can assess the situation myself. Thank you for helping me see things a bit more clearly.
I think I'm the one who should be thanking you for that, George.
Right. Let's get a move on.
We should be careful. It sounds like the storm has gotten stronger. George, this building is coming apart. We haven't got any time to lose. We need to get someplace safer.
When we get out there, we need to head directly for the shelter south of here. Just follow me, and we'll be there in no time.
Right behind you. George, watch out! The ceiling is collapsing!
Ladies and gentlemen, today we remember a very special man whose life was unfortunately cut short. Alfie Banks was someone who wasn't afraid to speak his mind. In fact, he certainly gave me a piece of it one of the last times I spoke with him. However, at heart, he was a kind soul. Alfie cared about the well-being of others, even if they wronged him, and that takes class. Alfie didn't need to apologize to me for the falling out we had so many years ago, but he did. And that meant more to me than anyone could ever know. In the time I knew and worked with him, Alfie always showed an immense amount of initiative, which makes it no surprise that he achieved as much as he did. Despite harder times in his last few years, he showed in the end that he was a good man. I would not be here speaking to you right now if it weren't for him. Not only do I owe my life to him, but my livelihood as well. Though I may not have expressed it as clearly as I should have, Alfie was instrumental in the success of Coral Gables. I'm sure he knew that. And though he was taken from us far too soon, Alfie's legacy will live on in the streets and buildings of this city. Because, just like the galleon which came to be the symbol of Coral Gables, Alfie sailed through all our lives, leaving behind a golden wake.